Take a look at this floor. I mean, really look. It looks so much like a tropical ocean you feel like you could just dive right in, right? It shimmers, it has depth, it's like the waves are frozen in time. What you're looking at is one of the most incredible illusions in modern design, and we're about to figure out exactly how it's done.
But here's the thing that'll blow your mind. This is not a giant photo sticker. It's not some 3D printout they rolled onto the ground. Nope. This entire effect is created with a liquid material sculpted by hand in real time. So the big question is, how on earth do you turn a bucket of chemicals into a breathtaking seascape?
Well, the answer lies in a very, very special substance that starts out as a liquid but ends up as a solid work of art. Let's start peeling back the layers on how this all works. At the very heart of this illusion is a material that you can pour, you can swirl, and you can manipulate to create patterns that give this incredible impression of flowing, three-dimensional water. It's a medium that's really part chemistry, part canvas.
And that magical material is called metallic epoxy. Now, it's been used to create abstract and marble-like floors for years, but artisans have now totally mastered it to simulate the organic, dynamic look of water.
So what is this stuff exactly? It's a two-part clear resin system. You can kind of think of it like a super sophisticated clear glue. But the real magic, the secret sauce, comes from what's mixed into it, these iridescent metallic pigment powders. These tiny reflective particles are what create that incredible sense of depth and those pearlescent, shimmering swirls. All right, let's break down exactly how these components come together to fool your eyes. First, you've got the clear resin base. Then you mix in those metallic mica pigments that catch the light from every angle. The epoxy itself is self-leveling, which means it naturally settles into these smooth, gentle curves, just like water. You combine that with a color palette of ocean blues, turquoise, and white for the seafoam, and suddenly the effect becomes unbelievably convincing. And this is what gives the floor that almost chameleon-like quality. Because of those reflective pigments, it's never static. As you walk across it, or as the light in the room changes, the patterns seem to shift and shimmer, creating this constant sense of movement. Honestly, it's like the floor is alive. Okay, so if the epoxy is the paint, how does the artist actually paint with it? This is where pure craft comes into play. It's way less like construction and a lot more like painting a masterpiece on a very, very unusual canvas. An installer has this whole toolkit of techniques. They'll drag a trowel through the wet epoxy to create currents and eddies. They'll use things like leaf blowers or heat guns to literally push the resin around to form ripples. And here's a fantastic trick. They spritz isopropyl alcohol onto the surface. What that does is it causes the resin to separate into these tiny cells, creating a perfect, lacy seafoam effect. It's brilliant. But, and this is a big but, this is definitely not a weekend DIY project. The whole process is this high-stakes race against the clock that combines artistic vision with some serious scientific precision. And the difference between an expert and a novice? Oh, it's night and day. An expert can create controlled waves and realistic seafoam. A novice is probably going to end up with a muddy, overblended mess. The line between a work of art and just an unpredictable puddle comes down to pure skill. And here is the real pressure cooker. An installer has only about 20 to 30 minutes of working time before the epoxy starts to harden. That's it. In that tiny little window, the entire design has to be executed with perfect precision. There are no second chances, no do-overs. It's exactly why industry experts at acoat.com point out that this isn't just a recommendation to hire a pro. It's pretty much a necessity. That expertise, to know exactly how the resin is going to flow and settle, is something that only comes with years and years of experience. So after all that intense artistic work, what are you actually left with? Well, you're left with a floor that truly feels alive, a surface that's both a functional part of a building and a piece of original art. And the final result is really the best of both worlds. On one hand, these floors are incredibly durable. I mean, they're seamless, waterproof, and tough enough for heavy foot traffic. Aesthetically, every single one is a unique, one-of-a-kind creation. And for maintenance, they're a dream to clean because there are no grout lines to trap dirt. This is why you see them in places that are trying to make a huge statement. You know, think high-end hotel lobbies, spas with that tranquil water theme, or even someone's basement that they've designed to feel like a stunning underwater grotto. It just completely transforms a space. So, what this all boils down to is this. This isn't just about a cool material, it's about the fusion of chemistry and creativity. It's where material science provides the canvas and a skilled artist uses their hands and their tools to turn a simple floor into a dynamic, breathtaking masterpiece. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought. If a floor, something we literally walk all over, can become a canvas for something as beautiful as an ocean, what other mundane, everyday surfaces are just out there waiting for the right combination of material and artistry to be transformed?